Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 1. This is part 2 of our whip run, which, in case you don't remember, last time we got the whip, Pyromancy Flame, Pyromancy Set, Chloranthy Ring. We started out with those, but we got the Wolf Ring, got to level 21. It's like, yeah, we started out with the Pyromancer Flame and the Pyromancer Set, but we went to Blighttown at level 4 with no weapons, and we got ourselves a whip, which that took 27 minutes, so we didn't make a whole lot of progress because I wanted to show all of that to make sure that no cheating. So this time there's not really going to be any of that because we have our entire thing set up. So hopefully we make a lot more progress this time. I think we are. I'm hoping at least like 4 or 5 bosses, but at least both bells, so let's get right into it. And something I noticed was that I put the whip on the left hand to try to stop it from bouncing off walls, but I noticed in the left hand it can parry, which, to my knowledge, the whip and Pyromancer Flame can't parry, so not super useful for this specific run, but good to know for just in general, for maybe future runs. But moving on, after doing one lap, I got 2 Titanite shards, and I bought another 3. So that way we could further reinforce our whip. And with the first one, 8 base, 1 additional, so that's another 9 damage on paper. So we can get that. And then next upgrade, 8 damage base, 2 additional, so that's another 10 damage. And we can't modify it just yet. We can't bring it to +6 because we need the large ember. Which, to do that, we'd have to go through Capra Demon. So we have 3 large Titanite shards, but we don't have the ember for it. Which, Capra Demon, the thought of that really scared me, so I decided probably better to do Bell Gargoyles first. Which, while going up there, we got some wonderful Dark Souls 1 pathing. I don't know why Dark Souls 1, especially Undead Parish, especially these enemies, I don't know what's up with them, but they just have the weirdest pathing. But we decided to go back because we actually had 2 humanity, and so I decided to restore human forms, that way I could be able to kindle. And then we used the other one to kindle. Partially because we go back to this bonfire a lot, and so being able to just get 10 Estus there was nice. But also partially because, again, I wasn't super confident in the ability to use the whip and Pyromancer Flame, and so I decided to summon Solaire, which I've mentioned multiple times in previous runs that I could summon, but I wasn't. And the reason for that was because I don't want to over rely on summoning. I want to be able to hold my own. But partially because Whip and Pyromancer Flame, I wasn't really comfortable with that, and partially because this is a duo fight, that made me go, okay, I'll summon here, but it's not something I'm going to overly rely on. But anyways, 9 Estus, take note of that, and I will let this attempt play itself out. Yeah, not gonna lie, Solaire kind of carried that. I was hoping the Pyromancer Flame would do a bit more. And, I mean, Fireball did do some decent damage, but it just kept missing. But anyways, we beat him with the Whip +5, Pyromancer Flame, Pyromancer Set, Chloranthy Ring, Wolf Ring, and 1 sip of the Estus Flask because we came in with 9. And we can climb this ladder while doing the next thing to multitask. And we beat him at level 22 with 19 Vitality, 18 Endurance, 14 Dexterity, and 12 Resistance, and we beat him first try. Which, yeah, I think maybe we're getting an idea on what we want to level up. So we're throwing Dex into there, but having beaten them, we were able to ring the first Bell of Awakening. And then coming back, we got some more good Dark Souls 1 pathing. Like I said, it's these enemies in this area. I don't know what's going on with them. But here, I came back, I saw that we could buy 15 Titanite shards, because we beat the boss, so we got like 10k or something. And again, we're coming up on Capra Demon, and Capra Demon, scary. I was very not confident. I had no confidence in myself to actually beat Capra Demon. I thought this was going to be a run where they took like 10 attempts. And so I wanted to be a bit more prepared, stat-wise. And so I was willing to I'll put some levels to get higher defense. Which, again, upgrading armor, a lot of different stats, a lot of different numbers, so I'm not going to go through all of them. But you can see it. You can pause and see everything in case you want to know. But here, I didn't have enough to actually get all the upgrades, so I went to go kill like 5 or so of the tree enemies to get enough souls. So we did that, and then we came back, you know, and then we decided to get our armor set to +3. Which, yeah, we do have some large Titanite shards to get the armor to +4 if we really wanted to. But I like to upgrade the entire armor set at once to make it easier to go through on boss fights, just to say this set +3 instead of like this set minus the chest piece +3 and then the chest piece +4. Like, I don't want to do that. And besides, I wanted to save the large Titanite shards for the whip because I like having good damage. But continuing on, we go back to Firelink to kick this schmuck off.
Well, what have we here?
Assuming we can consistently get the kicks off. So we kill him, get the 1,000 souls, because we don't want him killing Anastasia, so. But running on through, I had hoped that I could just run past the dragon in enough time. That did not work out. Because turns out the thing with the wings is faster than the thing with not wings. Which makes sense, but we sat down at this bonfire, so we were just right here, so it didn't really matter too much. But we head on over, basement key to get to lower Undead Burg. And then we get the shortcut because don't want the arrogance to seep in. Because, again, I did not have confidence in this. But we took a sip, so we're coming with 8 Estus, so take note of that. And having said that, I will let this attempt play itself out. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to take like 10 attempts. And also, we got to make good use of Fireball, so happy with that. But we beat him with the Whip plus 5, Pyromancy Flame, the Pyromancer set plus 3, Chloranthy Ring, Wolf Ring, and 3 sips of the Estus Flask because we came in with 8. And we beat him at level 22 with 19 Vitality, 18 Endurance, 14 Dexterity, 12 Resistance, and we surprisingly beat him first try. And from there, we open up the depths because, I mean, we usually go in for one reason, and that's to get our weapon from plus 5 up to starting to get it to plus 10. You know, because the extra damage is very nice. But this run specifically, we're doing it for the Pyromancy Flame as well. Because there is an NPC here, which we usually ignore him, and that's something I've noticed about these runs is I tend to just ignore a lot of the NPCs, but this guy is pertinent. Laurentius, or whatever his name is, he's pertinent to this run, so we're gonna go get him. But we get the Large Ember with 0 Estus left and like 60-70% health, so hopefully we can survive to actually get to him. Hopefully.
You. Yeah, yes, you. Here, over here. Please, you must help me.
Okay. Maybe you asked, so.
Thank you. I would have been at supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius, of the Great Swamp. I will not forget my debt to you.
Laurentius, that's it.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
Alright, well, we got the Large Ember and we got Laurentius, so now we can just leave.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my Pyromancy of the Great Swamp, so I can usually manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
He says like, oh, I can help you, I can teach you this stuff if you want, which makes me think that you should say yes, but then he ends it with unsavory, which means you have to answer no, which just throws me off, but anyways.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that, they'll be of some use, some assistance. Why, let's get started right now.
And with him, you can modify the Pyromancy Flame, which I don't know how much each upgrade does in terms of like increased damage, but that's something we're gonna have to check out because it doesn't take any upgrade materials, just souls, which is nice. But also, he sells some pyromancies. You got Fire Orb, Combustion, Iron Flash, Flash Sweat, and Fireball. Which I think Fire Orb and Fireball are probably the only two that I'm gonna use. Like, they're the only two that pique my interest. And we already have Fireball, but we're gonna buy another one because this game, unlike Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, which I'm used to, it doesn't run off FP.
Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time. Pyromancy has a, well, rather primitive aspect to it. It messes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavory, which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing. A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. Oh, sorry. You're a pyromancer yourself. You already know this.
Or do I?
Goodbye then. Come back if you find anything new.
But he's useful this run, so we're going to treat him with more respect. That goes with the other magics as well. But here, I thought I only had one attunement slot, until I went to go level it up to put on the other fireball, and I realized, oh, I already have 2. So I could have put on Poison Mist the entire time, but I didn't realize that until now. But good thing that we already have 2, I suppose, because we don't need any levels for that. But we now have 16 fireballs. So, good upgrade. I'm very happy with that. And then we head on down, we talk to Andre, we give him the large ember, and that's 8 base, 2 additional, that's another 10 damage on paper. So we can get that, and then it moves over to reinforce, which is kind of weird they have to go back and forth, but anyways, another 8 base, 2 additional, that's another 10 damage on paper. And we need 1 more large Titanite shard, and then the 200 souls to actually get that next upgrade. So, can't do that yet, and I didn't want to fight Qualag yet, so we decided to go after the Butterfly, which we could have gone into human form and summoned the Witch of Beatrice, but again, I don't want to over-rely on summons. So, we go in alone, and having said that, I will let this attempt play itself out. Yeah, we used Fireball against Capra Demon, but this is the first boss where we, like, really relied on it. I mean, we used it 14 times, which I thought was really cool, but we beat him with the Whip +7, Pyromancy Flame, Pyromancer Set +3, Chloranthy Ring, Wolf Ring, 3 Sips of the Estus, which I should probably, instead of just saying Pyromancy Flame, I should probably say what Pyromancer we used, so Fireball. But, yeah. And we beat him at level 25 with 20 Vitality, 20 Endurance, 14 Dexterity, 12 Resistance, and we beat him first try. And with that, we got the Divine Ember, and from there, I mean, we got a Homeward Bone, and we don't want to walk back, so might as well just homeward bone out of here. And since we had 16 now, I figured might as well just like purely use Fireball on the way back, just to see what it's like being able to rely solely on magic. And like, I mean, I think sorcery and pyromancies feel a bit different from using them in Dark Souls 3, but I mean, it just feels cool being able to rely purely on ranged weapons and purely on magic. It's just so satisfying. We're not gonna do it the whole run because it's the hybrid, but felt cool for this. And here, 4 damage by putting 1 single point into Dex. So this is where we realized, oh, yeah, we should probably be leveling up Dex as well. Which, be scaling in Dex. I probably should have realized it, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. But here, I wanted to see how much the Pyromancy Flame did, and specifically how much each upgrade did. So, 125. I thought using it on these guys would be good because you can sneak up on them and they're pretty close to a bonfire. But 125 with the base one. And so...
Oh, hello. I'm pleased, as always. If you provide the materials, I can teach you pyromancy.
it doesn't need materials. I don't know what he's talking about. But 125 with base. We upgrade it to +1. We head on back. And with it at +1, 135. So, only a 10 damage increase, but it moved these guys from a 2-shot to a 1-shot, so it can move some breakpoints, which is very good to see. And it doesn't cost any upgrade materials, just souls. So, why not? And then here, 145. So far it's taking, or it's increasing the damage by 10 each time. So not massive increases, but like 10 damage on paper is what the whip is getting. And again, that requires upgrade materials and souls. The Pyromancy Flame, it requires more souls, but no upgrade materials. But also, we can't sit here for some reason. This really threw me off, because there were no enemies by it. But then we walk back here, and it just booshes for no reason. This made no sense to me. Why could we not sit there before, but we can now? Sometimes Dark Souls 1 is weird.
Somebody help.
But I figured since we're doing this magic run...
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you.
I hadn't interacted with this guy or saved him in so long that I thought I maybe didn't even know how to anymore. And so I decided to go and save him just to make sure that I remembered how to do it for when we did use sorceries. Because like I said, sorceries, pyromancies, and miracles, they're not going to be on their own. They're going to be part of... They're going to be like mixed in with a weapon class that I think is weak. So maybe you can guess what you think it's going to be. Love to see what you think. But also, heading back, we saw this little guy. And he was just going on an entire adventure. And I was invested. I wanted to see where this guy was going. And he was running all around. And, I mean, big triumph moment. He can climb a ladder with a weapon in his hand. We can't do that. That's pretty cool. Here, he started losing some motivation, so we decided to give him a little motivation. Yeah, that's the spirit. Just need a bit of gusto. And a landing. Which... Oh yeah, he was here to kill us. That's right. Forgot that's what you're here to do. Well, better luck next time, friend. Good luck. And here I would... Whoa. Soul Arrow gets 30 uses. Great Soul Arrow gets 20. That means those two combined gets 50 uses. Pyromancy's two together get 16. Right? We don't even get half of what they get. Come on. But at this point, we got our Pyromancy Flame to +4, so I decided, no more stalling. We're heading off to Blighttown. Which, this is where we started things out, but now we're fully set up, so we can stay a bit longer. Which, damage check? 4 swings. That is, not what I was hoping for. I was hoping for 3 swings, and then, like, maybe 2 two-handed. So, not super terrible, but not what I was hoping for, considering it's a +7 weapon. Now, 3 swings, two-handed, but, again, I'm kinda hoping for 2, but maybe that's because our dex is very low. But, continuing on, we actually made it all the way here without getting poisoned. Which, kudos to the Pyromancer set. Look at that, 59 poison resist. Where it's like, that's 31, 16, 13... Like, a lot of these are really low, but not the Pyromancer set. So, that's pretty cool. I like that. But here, we decided to head on in and attempt Quelaag. Which, as you'll see, the damage was foreshadowed. Yeah. This was not good damage. Which, tried Pyromancy, we got stunned out of it. It hit, but I don't think it did any damage. But we could keep trying. Alright, I wasn't going to be disheartened by the low damage. And we actually got pretty far. If you look at their health bar, they got really low. But in the end, we ended up getting stuck on the legs. And then they did a snipe shot off to the side, which got us. So, it was a good attempt, especially for how little damage we were doing. But, like, just wasn't enough. But I knew that we could do it, even with low damage. We just needed to be a bit careful around the legs. And so we went in for round 2. And this time we were going in with 8 Estus, so take note of that. And with that being said, I will let this attempt play itself out. and that's Quailag down. Every like 4 or so runs, I'll have one where we just do 0 damage to Quailag. Kind of weird, but hey, we took him out with only the whip. Fireball wasn't doing any... It didn't do any damage, so purely whip on that one. But we beat her with the whip +7, the Pyromancy set +3, Chloranthy Ring, Wolf Ring, and 2 sips to the Estus because we came in with 8. And now we can put this back on. And we beat him at level 27 with 21 Vitality, 20 Endurance, 15 Dexterity, 12 Resistance. And we beat him second try. And having beaten them and said that, we can now pull the lever to ring the second Bell of Awakening, which wakes up the giant, gets him to pull the chain, which opens up the gates to Sen's Fortress. So we can do that next time. And here, yeah, I was looking at the damage and going, that's pretty good. 13 damage for 3 levels? Like, yeah, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. And then we went down and got bit by this thing, hoping that it would grab us. It took a few bites, but we eventually got there. And having had them bite us, we were able to just run back, sit at the bonfire to get our health back. Which, if you're listening with headphones, you can hear like tick, 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 tick of the brain worms inside of our head, which I hate it. But we run over, grab that, we get the sploosh, and we can run back to the beginning, where we scratch our head because we got brain worms in there. And we can smack Ceaseless down because, yeah, we're here. It's a free 20k. Again, the run back and forth takes so long, and there's nothing to it outside of just running in basically a straight line. And this is just like isn't a boss, so I'm not gonna treat him like a boss. Scratch. But they're just a free 20k. And not even a waste my breath on this. Like I said, they're not a real boss. They're just a free 20k. And a mandatory marathon. But we head back. And getting to Quailag's domain, I wanted to set up a certain thing when this happened. Which, I didn't think it was going to happen that fast, because last time we did this, it took way longer, or at least it felt like it did. It took way longer.
Oh dear, what have we here? Are you a new servant?
Yes.
Ah, no matter. Go along and have audience with our fair lady. I pray that you will mind your manners.
I'll try. But yeah, just like the run there and back took so long that I guess that took up most of the time. Now here, I was just seeing if we had enough humanity to max rank on this. We didn't, we were a few short. So I decided to just not go into it. We could have entered just to get 1 pyromancy, but I didn't think of that.
Try this. I've no use for it any longer.
That's very kind of you.
Oh, hello. What is it that you need?
And with him we can upgrade the Pyromancy Flame as well, which, yeah, we got it to
Worse
+4.
than undead. We are diseased and unwanted, like the grime of the great swamp. But my dear fair lady, she cried for me and swallowed the great blight pus, despite Mistress Quailag's orders to the contrary. Worse than like the and
Yeah, so this is another... He only has 2, and he's pretty minor, but he's technically another Pyromancy NPC, so I'm going to treat him with respect. Just like Laurentius. which he sells poison mist and toxic mist, which we already have a poison mist, but we could have another 3 casts of it. And these two cost 10 and 25k respectively, which we don't have right now, but we will be getting them. And because of the thing on our head, we can't put on a helmet, which if we could, I would keep this on. Like, if we could have a helmet on for the defense, but have this for the visual, I'd definitely do that for this run, but it doesn't look good enough for me to sacrifice defense. I usually sacrifice defense for looks, but not here. But running on through, we put 1 or 2 levels into Dex, which brought this over to a 2-shot, which was very nice. And I love seeing breakpoints get pushed. But I figured, since we're here and since we have a weapon that does damage now, and we're a higher level and can actually do things and have poise and whatnot, might as well stay here and get a few things. Because there's like a pyromancy. He went through the floor. But there's some stuff here that we want to get. First of all was a pyromancy, which I didn't know exactly where it was, but after going through a bit and getting a few false items, I thought it's probably being protected by this thing, because I never go near this thing and I never get the pyromancy. So you take that out, having lots of fireballs is good, and pyromancy power within. So 1 down, like what, 17, 18 to go? 16, 17, something like that. And continuing on through, we found out that these dogs are apparently immune to pyromancies or fire damage. They're immune to something, because that did nothing. But we jump down, we get the Firekeeper soul, conveniently kill both of them at the same time, which was nice. And going around, we get the Crimson set. The second set I was thinking about using for this run, because it looked cool, and Crimson is red, Pyromancies are red, so. And also here we got a Catalyst and a Sorcery, which I didn't remember that these were here, but good to know for when we do the Sorcery run. But while coming back, I thought, we got that one Firekeeper soul from Blighttown, and there's one here, and it's really easy to get because it's right at the beginning, but I never get it until post Ornstein and Smo, and I usually don't get it until almost the end of the game. And there's no reason for me to wait that long, so I figured this time I'm just gonna go in and get it now. Which, decided to use Pyromancies here because the whips really like bouncing off the walls. And here, we used 1 Transient Curse and we got 4. So that was a really good return on investment. And then we got a Firekeeper soul. And I figured, since the Transient Curse is still active, might as well just go kill some more enemies, get some more souls, because why not? And after doing that and getting back, we got 13.7k, and we had no Estus left, but we decided to cash in the 2 Firekeeper souls. So now those are gone. And that got us to +3, which might not sound like much, but that is going to do quite a bit in terms of giving us more health recovery. And then Flesh Mustache is here because we rang both bells, which let him yap through all of his dialogue. And then showing all this so you can see where all this came from, because yeah, if you're even like halfway through, you get so much equipment, and because you can't sell it right away, because you have to wait until a decent little portion into the game, man, it really builds up. And you end up getting so much. Which, I actually didn't show it here, and I didn't do it. But, if you pop, I think it's Moonlight Butterfly soul. You get 1,200, but you can feed it to Flesh Mustache for like, I think 20k. It's like 10 or 20k, which is really cool. And from here, I was thinking we could upgrade this, but we decided against it. And we got 2 levels. We could put 1 into endurance and dex to even that out. And from here, I thought this is a good place to end it. I mean, we went through 5 bosses. We rang both Bells of Awakening. We got Flesh Mustache. We saved Laurentius. So we got ourselves not 1, but 2 Pyromancer NPCs. We got 16 fireballs. We got the whip to +7. Like, we made really good progress today. A lot more than I thought we would. So, yeah.